Before I tell you this story, remember this. Sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one you underestimate the most. If you enjoy dramatic true life stories with twists you never saw coming, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's dive in. When a man in the faded gray jacket stepped out of the taxi and walked toward Opel Tech headquarters, nobody paid attention. People walked past him, some bumping his shoulder without apology. He looked like someone coming for a job that no one wanted, a driver, a messenger, or at best a low-level technician. But his pace was calm, controlled, observant. Inside the lobby, the usual noise was buzzing. Employees rushing, phones ringing, the receptionist typing like she was in a race against time. Behind a front desk stood her, Macy, the young receptionist with sharp eyeliner, sharper insults, and a reputation for being nice only to people she thought were important. The man approached politely. "Good morning. I'm here to see the board of directors." Macy didn't bother looking up. "Sir, all delivery personnel use the back entrance," she said flatly. "I'm not here for deliveries," the man replied gently. Macy finally lifted her head and gave him a slow, exaggerated scan. "Right, and I'm the Queen of England. Look, sir, I'm busy. Please don't block the line." A few workers nearby chuckled. Others whispered, "Probably a driver. Looks lost. These people just wander in." The man didn't react. His face stayed calm, almost too calm. He took a seat instead, folding his hands. That was when Ada, a young intern with tired eyes and ink on her fingers, noticed him. She had been working late nights for weeks, but kindness had not been drained out of her. She approached him. "Sir, are you sure no one has attended to you?" He smiled faintly. "No one yet." "What's your name?" Ada asked. He leaned closer and said softly, "Mr. Carter." She blinked. "As in, the Mr. Carter the directors are expecting today?" He simply nodded. Ada didn't hesitate. "Please follow me." Macy burst out laughing. "Ada, stop embarrassing yourself. This guy said he's here for the board. You think a CEO dresses like that?" Ada answered without turning around. "I think everyone deserves respect." With that, she guided the man through the glass doors into the VIP corridor. Workers watched in confusion. A few snickered. Others whispered that Ada would probably be fired for letting a random person walk into secured areas. Inside the conference room, Ada offered the man water and made sure he was seated comfortably. Not long after, the members of the board trickled in, old men in sharp suits and serious expressions. The first director stopped dead in his tracks. "Sir, you're early." The man in the faded gray jacket stood up slowly. The entire room fell silent. Macy, curious and nosy, had followed Ada and peeked through a glass pane, and her face drained of color instantly. The man reached into his old backpack and pulled out a sleek black folder. Inside was a contract. He placed it on the table. "My name," he said calmly, "is Elias Carter, and as of this morning, I'm a new CEO of Opel Tech." Every whisper in the hallway died. Every breath in the room froze. The same man they mocked in the lobby was now the highest-ranking person in the building. The new CEO continued. "Before taking over this company, I wanted to understand its culture. Not from reports, but from experience. Real experience." Macy covered her mouth. Elias walked toward the glass door, opened it, and stepped into the hallway. Employees were watching from every corner. Silence followed him like a shadow. He gestured for Ada to come forward. "Ada, you showed kindness without expecting anything in return. You treated me like a human being. From today, you're no longer an intern. You're being promoted to junior operations supervisor, effective immediately." Ada gasped, tears forming instantly. "Sir, I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything. You earned this." Then Elias turned his eyes toward the lobby. Macy looked like she was about to faint. He approached her desk slowly. The entire company held its breath. "Macy," he said in a quiet, steady voice, "I'm not going to shout. I'm not going to insult you, but I will hold you accountable." "Sir, I didn't know." "That," he cut in, "is the point. You didn't know who I was, yet you treated me as if I were less than human." Tears streamed down Macy's face. "I'm sorry." "Please, sir." Elias lifted a hand to stop her. "Your job here is not to judge people. It's to treat them with professionalism. Respect shouldn't depend on status. Her legs shook. The entire office waited to hear her fate. Elias took a somber breath. Macy, you're relieved of your position. Effective immediately. A collective exhale rippled through the room. Shock, awe, a little fear. Macy collapsed in her chair, sobbing. Elias looked around at the employees watching him. Let this be the first lesson of my leadership, he said. You never know who someone truly is. And your character is revealed by how you treat the people you think cannot help you. He turned and walked back toward the boardroom. Ada followed behind him, and the entire company buzzed with a mixture of fear and respect. The boardroom door closed behind Elias Carter, and the room fell into a heavy silence. Ada stood near the entrance, still trying to process everything. A few minutes ago, she was an overlooked intern. Now, she held her first official role in the company, all because she chose kindness on an ordinary morning. The directors took their seats, still adjusting to the shock. One of them, Mr. Grayson, cleared his throat. Sir, forgive my boldness, but is this how you plan to run the company? Testing people without announcing yourself? Elias paused at the head of the table. I didn't test anyone, he replied softly. I observed. The culture here reveals itself without provocation. He turned his gaze toward the glass wall, where employees in the hallway pretended not to stare. This company built brilliant technology, Elias continued, but somewhere along the line, it forgot to build decent humans. A few directors shifted uncomfortably. Elias tapped lightly on the table. Before we discuss operations, I want to hear an honest answer. How many employees have complained about the toxic atmosphere here? The directors exchanged looks before one of them sighed. Quite a few, Mrs. Langford admitted. Turnover has been high. Talented people leave quietly. Elias nodded slowly. Then change starts today. Ada, standing by the wall, felt something stir inside her. Hope. But outside the boardroom, another story was unfolding. Macy's breakdown. Macy sat frozen at the front desk, mascara streaking down her cheeks. Coworkers walked past silently, some smug, others sympathetic, but no one approached her. Until someone did. A middle-aged cleaner named Rosa, the same woman Macy had yelled at just last week for walking too slowly, gently touched her shoulder. Are you okay, dear? Macy burst into louder sobs. I lost everything. I didn't mean to be rude. I didn't know who he was. Rosa sat beside her. Honey, you don't have to know someone to be kind. Those words stabbed deep. Macy realized something. She had spent years climbing socially, not professionally, respecting only the people who looked powerful, ignoring or insulting anyone she deemed beneath her. Now it all came back. Every cruel comment, every eye roll, every moment she treated someone like they were invisible. She wished she could turn back the clock. Inside the boardroom, the reveal. Elias stood tall. We will rebuild Opal Tech on 3 principles: respect, transparency, and humanity. A director scoffed. That sounds noble, but business runs on results, not emotions. Elias smiled faintly. You assume respecting people and achieving results are opposites. They are not. People work better when they're valued, not terrorized. He turned toward Ada. Which brings me to something important. Ada stiffened. Step forward, Ada. She obeyed, heart pounding. This morning, when I was in the lobby, you didn't know who I was. You didn't assume anything. You just helped. Tell the board why. Ada swallowed. Because people deserve help, she said softly, whether they wear a suit or an old jacket. A warm silence settled over the room. Elias looked back at the directors. This is the kind of leadership I want across every floor of this company. Then he added, Ada will assist me directly for the next 90 days. I want her to help build the new Opal Tech culture. Ada almost forgot how to breathe. Sir, me? But I'm not qualified. You have what many qualified people lack, Elias said. Empathy. For the first time in her life, Ada felt seen. The unexpected visitor. Later that afternoon, as Elias left the boardroom to walk the halls, employees straightened their shirts, sat up, or pretended to be busy. His expression remained unreadable, but he nodded politely as he passed each person. Ada walked beside him nervously. "Are you always this calm?" she asked. He chuckled softly. "Calm is how you hear everything people aren't saying." They were halfway to the elevator when someone stepped into Elias's path. Macy. Her hands trembled. Her eyes were red. "Sir, I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean to disrespect you. I was overwhelmed. I judged you. I shouldn't have." Elias studied her quietly. People watched from every corner. "For years," he said gently, "you greeted people based on your perception of their importance. Do you realize the damage that causes?" Macy's chin shook. I do now." Ada felt a pang of sympathy. But the decision wasn't hers to make. After a long pause, Elias said something unexpected. "I'm not here to destroy anyone's life," he said. "I'm here to reset this company." He stepped closer. "Macy, you're not fired from Opal Tech, only from the front desk." Gasps rose from the watching employees. Macy blinked, confused. "Yes, sir. You'll move to the employee care department, the one that handles culture complaints. You'll work under supervision, and you'll undergo training. If you want to stay, you'll earn your place." Macy collapsed into tears again, but these were different tears. Thank you so much." "Don't thank me yet," Elias replied. "Show me you can change." The true twist, Elias's secret. Hours later, after the crowd dispersed, Ada followed Elias into his temporary office. "Sir," she said quietly, "why did you spare Macy?" Elias leaned against the desk. "Because once I was Macy." Ada frowned. "What do you mean?" He exhaled deeply. "When I was younger, I judged people by what they wore. I dismissed a man at a job interview because I assumed he wasn't good enough. Turned out, he was the founder of the company I dreamed of working for." Ada's eyes widened. "What happened?" "He offered me the job anyway," Elias said. "And he told me something I never forgot. When you judge someone too quickly, you reveal more about yourself than them." Ada nodded slowly. "That's why you gave her another chance," she said. "That's why I give everyone a chance," Elias replied. A long silence settled in the room. Then he turned to her with a small smile. "Ready to help me change a company?" Ada smiled back for the first time all day. "Yes, sir, I am." And just like that, the company that once mocked a man in a faded jacket began its transformation, one human moment at a time. So what do you think? Would you have treated Elias with kindness or judge him by his jacket? Let me know in the comments. If you want more dramatic real-life stories with twists, second chances, and powerful lessons, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another story.